Feeling frustrated because you're not attracting wealth? Discover the method Catherine Ponder used to manifest prosperity and abundance. This video could be the turning point you need to live in abundance. Get ready to learn a life-changing secret. Your prosperous life starts now. Before we dive in, I urge you to listen carefully to every word I'm about to share, as this information has the potential to truly transform your life. You deserve to live a life filled with abundance, happiness, and success. Learning and applying the methods Catherine used can help you achieve just that. So, take a moment for yourself and get ready to discover how to ask for and receive from the universe. Let's begin. Katerina understood that nature abhors a vacuum, especially in the realms of prosperity. The law of the vacuum is one of those laws that not only requires courage and belief to implement but also demands dedication and discernment when attempting to amass fortune. Harnessing willpower to reap all your rewards and maintaining a positive mindset towards success, even in the face of failures, often necessitates applying the law of the vacuum. One thing is certain: to make room for the things you desire, clear out everything that no longer serves you in life. This includes objects, people, situations, and emotions. Regarding material possessions, go through your closets or furniture at home or work that serve no purpose and start eliminating everything that no longer resonates with you, including people in your life. Next, evaluate your acquaintances and friends. Do they fit into your life? Have you learned from them and they from you? If they no longer fit into your life, begin to let them go and distance yourself from those not in tune with you. Typically, this selection happens naturally. Trust that you can have everything you desire. The right people will come to you at the right time. Often, it's confusing to know what you want until you rid yourself of what you don't want. You'll find that if the good things you desire aren't coming your way, it's because it's time to make space for the new. Make room in your life to receive all that you long for. As mentioned earlier, if you create a vacuum in your life, nature will take care of filling that space, bringing wonderful things to you. Allow the greater good into your existence. I heard about a couple who, thanks to the law of the vacuum, managed to have their new house fully decorated as they had always dreamed. In their old home, they conducted a purge, donating everything they no longer needed and keeping only the furniture suitable for their new home. Interestingly, their new house had a lot of empty space. They began to visualize those empty spaces filled with new furniture that would be part of their decoration desires. Over time, they felt as though nothing was changing. There were no prospects to fill those spaces as they wished. One day, the husband, a professional in a company, received a rewards plan for his outstanding performance. He reached the necessary score and had the right to choose several prizes, including furniture. In another case I came across, an executive had put his house up for sale but was struggling to find interested buyers. When he learned about the power of the law of the vacuum, he realized he needed to act immediately to create space in his home, getting rid of the old and useless to make way for the new. So, he sat in his office and began to visualize his house completely empty in every room. He also visualized the sale of his property happening swiftly, without any hitches. Furthermore, he added to his visualization the image of his beautiful new house, as if he were already living there with his family. He took a piece of paper and a pen and chose the company and city where he would like to be transferred. He kept a visual record of everything: the sale of his house, his arrival in the new city, at the company where he would work, and mainly, his new home fully furnished. Before long, someone interested in buying his house appeared and paid a much higher price than he expected. His vision became a reality, and he moved to the new dwelling with his family. It's possible to create the life of your dreams in all aspects, using the law of the vacuum. When you decide to create a vacuum in any area of your life, whether spiritual, mental, or physical, the substance of the universe will come to fill it, even in relation to your health. Consider this story: a businessman was very ill. Despite the medical team's efforts, there were no signs of improvement in his health. On the contrary, he was weakening more each day. He went home and waited for some change to happen. One night, in a feverish state, he remembered reading about the law of the vacuum. Immediately, he thought about how this law could be useful at that moment. He imagined it was time to create space for something new to arrive, but in relation to his health, What needed to be released? He asked his subconscious what he should do to make space in his life. That's when he began to analyze his feelings. He harbored feelings of anger and resentment towards a particular person. He did a brief retrospective in his mind about the events that generated that mutual feeling. He remembered that he had hurt the person with aggressive words said in a moment of anger. He began to self-analyze and realized he had been very harsh with the person and that, at that moment, he needed to expel all resentment, anger, and bitterness in relation to the person and the event itself. That's when he made the decision to forgive, making the following declaration out loud: "I forgive you, I release you, and I let you go. What happened between us is dissolved, finished. There are no more grudges, resentments, or bitterness of any kind. You are free and I am free. We are two free people. I am at peace." When he finished making that declaration, he slept deeply. The next morning, he woke up and realized he no longer had a fever. He went back to the doctor, who, inexplicably, found him cured. Although the medical team didn't know the reason for his improvement, he knew that the intensity of the peace and lightness he felt in his spirit was what healed him. The law of the vacuum is a powerful tool for attracting abundance and prosperity into our life. By creating space, both in the physical, emotional, and mental realms, we allow the energy of the universe to flow freely, bringing new opportunities and blessings. It's crucial to understand that a vacuum doesn't signify lack or scarcity but rather an opening to receive what we desire. To effectively apply the law of the vacuum, it's essential to start with a deep cleaning in all areas of our life. This involves getting rid of objects that no longer serve us, freeing ourselves from toxic relationships or those that don't contribute to our growth, and letting go of limiting thought patterns and negative emotions. By making space, we send a clear message to the universe that we are ready to receive the new and better. The mere act of releasing all negative emotions restored his health and filled the void left behind. Notice how the act of forgiveness can heal both the forgiver and the forgiven. Forgiveness is not about boasting, rather, it means replacing a negative emotion that was being harbored against another and transforming that emotion into something new, refreshing, and freeing. The simple act of forgiving creates a vacuum, and a new feeling arises with the power to heal your life. In essence, to forgive is to release. It means understanding that when you let go of preconceived notions, convictions, biases, and beliefs, you make room for the new to take root. In the example I previously mentioned, from the moment the woman decided to let go of the fixed idea of harming the man, believing that would be justice, it was the crucial turning point needed to open a vacuum in the universe and allow for the establishment of agreement and peace for both families. The act of forgiving can work true miracles. Now, I will teach you a technique so you can practice forgiveness and start to free up space within yourself. This will enhance the infinite possibilities that will come your way as fulfilled desires. Practice this every day for a few minutes throughout your day. Let's start. Sit comfortably, begin to breathe slowly, relaxing your body. Now, visualize each person you feel you need to forgive and be forgiven by. Recall the disagreements, injustices, inappropriate words, and feelings of discord you may have received or practiced. Begin to release all those feelings now. Ask for forgiveness from each person. These individuals will receive your request for forgiveness on a subconscious level and will instantly forgive you as well. You have just created a vacuum to release your prosperity, wealth, and success. Now, declare to yourself, "I am forgiven and guided by the love of God. I am at peace." Take a deep breath, feel the peace flowing within you, let it envelop you. One day, a lady told me she was experiencing conflicts in her marriage due to her husband's alcoholism, including the risk of him losing his job. I gave her guidance on forgiveness, but knowing there were many underlying issues in that marriage, I encouraged her to practice forgiveness daily for all the feelings in her heart. Feelings that were not restricted to her husband but also extended to parents, work, friends, and even negative feelings about herself. We all go through the same situation, as we also have many feelings accumulated over the years, feeding so many limiting beliefs. It is crucial to use forgiveness as a daily and constant practice. Every day we create thoughts and generate negative feelings, often unconsciously. This becomes a habit, hence the importance of practicing forgiveness. It's necessary to create a vacuum within yourself, freeing up that space to create the greater good. Be steadfast in your life with the guidance I shared. This woman began to practice, remembering all the people and situations she had experienced, even those she had long forgotten. They were all old conflicts, misunderstandings, wounds, and resentments. She began to free herself from all of it. She also remembered all the times she had hurt people, caused harm, and offended. She felt relief in releasing old entrenched feelings, especially regarding her husband's past attitudes. She managed to forgive herself. In a short time, the results began to manifest. Her husband stopped drinking and kept his job. Peace was restored in their marriage. It was necessary to open that vacuum in the woman's feelings for the Creator to bring the greater good for her. Indeed, that is the power of forgiveness. Don't close yourself off to situations or problems in your life. Simply practice forgiveness for all people and everything around you. Make the following declaration: I release these feelings, situations, and people. I let go. Your release will happen spiritually, and the result will be evident in your material life. An important point to consider when getting rid of material things is to release them without expecting anything in return. Consider what happened with the intention of having new clothes. I opened my closet and began to gather everything I no longer used, items that had been stored for a long time and were of no use. I sent those clothes to my sister. I waited for new clothes, but time passed and nothing new happened. I began to feel that I could still use some of those clothes if they were still with me, and realized I was attached to the clothes and the outcome. I began to mentally visualize each donated item and started making the following affirmation: at this moment, I completely release you. You fulfilled your mission with me, and now you are with someone who needs you. After some time, I began to receive new clothes. You know how it happens. A friend received some money and immediately thought of sharing with me. She bought some clothes and brought them to me. I immediately saw this as an opportunity to fill the vacuum in my closet. And that's exactly what I did. It's amazing how the blessings didn't stop there. Some time ago, I had written some articles for magazines that were rejected at the time. However, I felt the need to review those articles, make some changes, and resubmit them to the magazines. All the articles were accepted and published, and I received a good sum of money for them. As if that weren't enough, I received even more clothes from people who knew my style. They told me that, knowing me well, they saw an item and realized it was for me. I learned a great lesson: when you give something with the true intention of freedom, it becomes a genuine gift. In other words, when you release what you've held onto, you free yourself and allow yourself to flow. If you're facing blockages in your financial life, or if things aren't going as well as you'd like, begin to take control of your mind and feelings. Take your wallet, your checkbook, and declare the following: I am at peace, I am filled with wealth and prosperity. God provides everything for me. Now, take your outstanding bills and begin to pay them one by one, as much as you can. By doing this, you're sending the universe the message that provision must come to you multiplied.